I wanted to share the process of making a new product from the absolute start to having the products in my hands. I already knew I wanted to make a small little bag, a casual thing for people to wear when running errands. The idea is for it to be just big enough for a phone, keys, and wallet. I had seen some products online and wanted to make my own version. And like you saw in the beginning, I had started off drawing traditionally dozens of sketches called thumbnail sketches. The idea was to make them super ugly, be non-committed, and to just crank out a lot of ideas to build off of. After that phase, I chose a handful of thumbnails I liked and started drawing them in more detail. The point is for them to look ugly still. I have a problem with wanting to present everything I do as perfect, but I gave myself permission to show the ugly phase, and that totally helped me feel more free and creative. This phase is a lot of fun for me because I just freehanded a bunch of different assets and elements and played with the composition to make it work for such a small space. After I got an idea of which designs I wanted to move forward with, I decided to download some of the manufacturer's sample pictures and draw over them. This really helps me see the composition of a design and see if it makes sense for the scale of the product. These bags are meant to be really small, so they can't be elaborate. They're also knitted, so the design is essentially at the mercy of the material. They can't be too detailed, so I was constantly trying to simplify down my ideas. I kind of settled on the idea of each bag being a different color scheme or palette, so after drawing the neutral color bag, I shifted gears and made this super colorful one with my favorite colors, green and orange. I also started taking it literally, so I added oranges. I added their little leaves, and then I was trying to decide if they should all be sentient oranges and have faces, or maybe just the one. This little knitting detail was really cute to me, like they were in a shopping basket. I also decided to turn some of the oranges into flowers because I think that shape is so cute. It was similar but different at the same time, so I think that makes it more interesting. I also then decided to go with a darker palette instead of keeping with that soft sage green. I pivoted for more a olive color. It just felt a little bit more mature, and I feel like more people actually have darker tones in clothing, so maybe it would go better for those outfits. But I was also able to keep that colorful aspect, which I really liked. And here is the final scroll through of the 4 designs and colors I decided to go with. I think it's kind of cool to go back and see where I started with these thumbnail sketches and how I pulled different elements from each little thumbnail and then elaborated on it. So this little form factor and this composition of the house and the windows, and then how I built upon that, and then eventually like digitized it and came up with a mock-up. So I really do hope that the final product ends up looking like this. After some initial back and forth with the manufacturer, I had a more clear time frame and budget in mind. I was then able to ask some more technical questions. And before signing any contracts, I definitely wanted some reassurance that my designs were not going to be sold anywhere else. After the initial back and forth, the manufacturer started sending me pictures of these samples. It was so exciting. All the designs came out exactly as I wanted, and they basically had every color I wanted too. The only one that gave me trouble was the blue Dilly Dally bag, so I had to make a couple readjustments so the text was bigger and so more of the illustration was clearer. After all that excitement, I need to get all the inventory counted and sorted for my shop, and to get ready to bring out to events. And speaking of bringing them to events, I really rushed the shipping process for these bags because I wanted to be able to bring them with me as soon as possible. I paid over $1,000 in shipping for air freight, but what I didn't know was that I was going to be hit with a duties and import tax as well. I had assumed because I was paying so much that those fees would be included, but no, A couple weeks later, I was sent a lovely bill from FedEx requesting $700 for taxes. It was shocking, but like, what can you do? I paid it. I later learned that I can do something called DDP shipping, which means delivered duty paid, which is a slower shipping process but saves more money. So definitely a learning lesson for me right there. A very expensive one. So anyways, thank you so much for joining me in this week's vlog of how to do a design process. It's really not that hard, and I hope that you are inspired to make some cool, unique goodies out in the world. Next week, I will be vlogging on how I do my website rehaul. I want to redo my whole website and upload all these new goodies. So hopefully they are ready for purchasing by July 27th. That is my goal. But yeah, we're going to do some official photos and we're going to do some official updating. Everything will be so official. Okay, see you next week. Thank you for joining me. Bye.